Hear what the man said. The man said, "Phil, wake up, brethren, wake up." Sorry, I know it's late. Some of you are putting to bed. Sorry. Hi, guys, we're back. And that was a special request. That was from my special guest, that tune. Wake Up, Everybody by
Howard Melvin and the Blue Notes.
Yeah, he's one of your favourites, right?
One of my favourites, yeah.
So what is it about the vibration with music? Let's just talk about that a little bit, because I would expect Dr. Malachi Z. York to not be so into music. What's going on?
Okay. He actually, one of the things that he did do was start off a music studio, and was called York Records.
Okay.
And his aim was just like Sam Cooke, if you know about Sam Cooke. FBI under J. Edgar Hoover actually went for him because he decided to create his own record label and his own organization so that he could sign black artists onto his record label and do for self. So
okay, so who?
Sam Cooke.
Oh yeah, I know Sam Cooke.
Sam Cooke, yeah. So he had his own record label and he was starting actually employing artists, etc., under his label. But
right.
You see, one thing that FBI under J. Edgar Hoover did was something called COINTELPRO, and was to actually eliminate and get rid of any organizations that seemed dangerous or, conspiracy latent. So that's that. Look that up. But going back to Dr. York, he did the same similar thing and set up York Records. And the initial thing was to bring in artists, sign them up, and make good music, just like the one you just heard.
Right, okay.
You see? And music is all about tones, frequencies, and vibration. So he being a musician and him being a person that knew about tones and vibration was able to put the songs under certain keys and notes. You see what I'm saying? Because there's certain keys, like the A note, the C note, and the F note are the natural notes of our bodies.
Right.
So utilizing those notes and blending them together was actually activating you on a cellular DNA level. You see, the music that we're listening to now, which is in the 440 hertz, which is the A note, but it's on a certain frequency called 440 hertz.
Right.
That is actually destroys DNA. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so while we speak, we're losing DNA.
No, not while we speak.
Right.
The frequency.
Right.
Of the music.
Oh, the music.
The music.
The music.
Yeah. So you should try to do is listen to natural music, or music that's soothing for your soul.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
The music that we're listening to now is most of it is artificial.
Yeah, but we're not actually listening to it. We're being made to listen to it when you go into shops, blah blah blah. Because I've
just exposed.
Yeah, because I've realised I don't like music that doesn't have black influence. I don't like it.
No, yeah.
It doesn't. I can't
you don't
feel
resonate
it.
with it.
I don't.
Yeah.
I only resonate with music that is influenced by black.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter which part of the black or which part of the music. If it doesn't, I don't know it. I don't want to know it. It does my head in.
No.
It hurts.
No, but that's what's called this. Like I said, every race has a particular tone.
I love it.
You see what I'm saying?
It's
so
good to hear.
Asians have Bhangra.
They do.
And they have certain tones.
Yes.
Go on a bus, right, and don't turn around. But if you hear a Chinese man speaking, you know by his tones and his language, that's a Chinese man.
Yes.
You go to same thing, an Asian man, you don't turn around, you know it's an Asian man talking because of his tones and his language.
Yes.
Yeah? Most of us, when we're speaking, unless we got a deep, raspy voice or something, it's very hard to distinguish.
Yes.
And because we've been conditioned now to sound like Europeans,
yes,
some of us do sound like Europeans.
Totally.
We call them coconuts, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We do.
Know? So yeah,
I've often been described as that. Loads of times.
I'm surprised.
Loads of people see me and they go, "Ooh," and I'm like, "Oh okay. Yeah, hi."
Yeah. Because
like, I don't even comb my hair.
That's because you know what it is. The environment that we're brought up in influences the way we speak and the way we behave.
No, absolutely, definitely.
So, yes, we are going to have that taint of that, what's it called, influence. But naturally, if you went into your natural rhythm and your tones. And
oh, yeah, I'm
like
straight black.
Yeah, you know,
I'm straight black.
You'd be, especially reggae. Reggae is a music that hasn't really moved very much away from
with the
the
tones,
yeah, the
and
tones.
the bass line and the
Exactly,
rhythm.
Exactly.
It's almost, because even when they come with new music that has a reggae influence, you can tell there's a reggae influence there.
Exactly.
Straight away, it resonates with me. Now, what I was going to ask you was, why is it that men and women speak differently then? Why is it that women speak like this?
Okay.
And men speak like this. Yeah. What's that about?
Well, factually,
yes.
Women spoke before males.
I believe that. Because we love to talk.
You're good communicators.
Excellent.
Yeah. And also speech is actually a form of intelligence.
Absolutely.
So, and when you go and research about the certain regions of your brain, there's an actual gene called the FOXP2 gene. I say it again, the FOXP2 gene,
right?
Which is the area responsible for actually articulation and speech and intelligence.
Mine is on fire. Yeah. I'm not joking.
No, listen, I'm not here to disprove. Do you know what I mean?
Mine is ridiculous. It just rolls off my tongue.
Yeah. So you're a highly intelligent, activated person.
I believe so, because and do you know what? I'll be honest, I can't help it.
Yeah.
So I'm compelled to speak.
So back to what you asked me.
Yeah, why do men?
Because the female spoke first, and then what it was is her larynx and her voice box.
Wore out.
No. Yours is higher. Our one it dropped down.
Okay, so it's a different position in the body.
Exactly.
But mine quite high, right? I mean,
yeah, you got raspy
mine's
type
somewhere near to where yours is.
Yeah, merely because when you're dealing with chromosomes, okay, you have traits.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
yes.
you've inherited certain traits.
I have.
You with me? So what's happening now is your vocal cords, not to get too scientific, but your vocal cords are literally rubbing against each other at such a high frequency.
Yes, that there's no time for the air to get through. So it's just bare deep and bass.
Exactly.
So, are you like a doctor? Well, you know so much stuff.
We studied. This is what we do. We study to teach people from every different corner of the planet.
But how long you been studying?
Almost forever.
Seriously, you know so much stuff.
The master teachers made us this way. Dr. Malachi Z. York has made us this way. He said, that's what he said. Don't believe, if you're a true student of the master teacher, don't believe what he teaches. Go and check it out. Study it.
Study it.
Study it.
That's what I tell my children.
Yeah, study it, and then so you can then convey it to somebody in a better or even a layman terms, because obviously when you study scientific things, you're going to get into certain terms.
Yes, of course,
He always brings it down to a level where it can be comprehended.
Good, yeah, because not all of us can get all those.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sometimes a stickler for that. I try to get so heavy.
That's why I'm saying you're so knowledgeable, but it's not that you've remembered everything.
Yeah, it's good retainment. But
you have brilliant.
When you study. And you apply.
Brain is a muscle.
Exactly.
Brain is a muscle.
Do you know what grows, isn't it? Do you know what grows? It's called neurogenesis.
No, I didn't know that.
Okay, so anytime you study something new, your brain literally creates a groove, and it something called neurons.
Yeah.
And synaptic nerves.
Right.
Those things actually connect together, and it grows a new path.
Okay.
So every time you learn something new, like riding a bike, some ones are hardwired, like riding a bike, you never forget.
Yes.
And then there's others that when you learn a new instrument or whatever,
you need to practice.
You practice, and you grain the grooves all the time, and the brains that fire together wire together. Right.
Okay. So I always thought it was arts that you needed to practice, like cooking. The more you practice, the better you get. Just stuff that there's certain things, the more you practice, the better you get.
That's part of it. That's definitely part of it.
I mean, my creative side
so
is very much like that.
Your hands.
Yes.
but your hands have fingertips.
Of course.
Those fingertips are reeling the message.
They're very sensitive, aren't they?
To your brain.
Right.
So your brain is then retaining that information and is firing each time you're learning and preparing. And every time you keep practicing that, you're perfecting your art, your skill.
Yeah, I'd like to do that as well.
So that is literally what's happening. So you've got that, and you also have linguistical skills that
yes.
you can learn, you can pick up. You also have study skills that you can pick up.
Yes.
So all of these things, when you're marrying it up and you're practicing and applying it, that's where the neurons are coming in.
Of course.
The neurogenesis.
Yes.
Which is basically the growth of new neurons.
Yes.
And in doing that, your brain capacity is able to hold in more information. I'm saying now, when that happens, your brain is a computer.
Yes, I know that.
And
that's what the computer was designed from, right?
Precisely.
Yes.
Now, your brain's not. Your mind is not in your brain. Your mind is a field of energy.
I believe that. That's why people say you're daydreaming,
exactly.
Your mind wandering.
Exactly.
Get it?
Exactly.
Get it?
So that higher drive.
Yes.
You actually, now that your capacity of your brain is increased, you're now drawing more from the higher drive, the mental, into your mind.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay. So when it's in your mind, does it stay there?
It can stay there only if you keep it up.
Yeah, so because it's all about maintenance.
Yeah, because what happens is if you don't, the neurons like literally start to unravel.
Yes, I get that. So you need to practice to keep them together, to keep them tight.
So that's what, because we're studying and practicing.
That's why you say, that's why. Oh, of course, because you keep teaching.
Yeah.
So do you do Sunday school, Saturday school? What do you do?
We do Saturday classes from 7 to 9:30. We want to increase it, but sometimes it's manpower and help from others.
Of course,
community to get active and involved.
Yes.
So, but right now we do classes on Zoom, Clubhouse, every Saturday.
Where's your Clubhouse?
Clubhouse is called the House of. Let me find it now. I keep forgetting the name. 1 second.
So are you mainly on Zoom then?
We're mainly on Zoom.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're mainly on Zoom.
And do you have a front of house that people can come and coach and relax and drink herbal tea?
If they want to.
Do you have herbal tea there?
We got herbal tea.
Yeah.
Our place is in a store. I brought it along.
Lovely. Thank you.
It's called Nashat.
Yes.
Herbal store.
You see? I see how clever I am.
You're very clever.
No, seriously, I mentioned the herbal thing. And the thing about it is I don't mean to talk about see how clever I am. It's just that it's happening here live as we are. I didn't make this up. Do you know what I mean? So, Nashat. Yeah. And it's they've got all sorts of things. They've got products. They've got organic health and wellness, greeting cards for all occasions, crystals and gemstones, herbs, minerals and vitamins, African fabric clothing. I love a bit of African clothing. I've got so much stuff that's African, and I wear it with pride. Good. So when the Princess Kate and Prince William got married, and then there was a holiday, and they said you had to wear red, gold, and green. I wore red, gold, and green instead of wearing red, white, and blue. Me and all my children, we all wore red, gold, and green.
You definitely go against the grain.
I can't help it. It's just in me to be rebellious like that because I refuse.
You're falling to their mind.
Honestly. So there was a lady, the children was quite young, they were in school, and it was a national holiday. I'd never forget, it was a Friday. Okay. And there was a woman at school, and I said to her, tomorrow we're all going to wear our red, gold, and green clothes, we're going to wear my African stuff. And then I saw her the next day, she goes, oh, you weren't joking. We were kitted out. And that's just how we rolled that day.
That's good, man.
And I was proud of that. Yeah, so this is where?
This is in Croydon.
Oh, Croydon.
Okay, so it's quite far away for some people to get to, but
Croydon's quite central though. It's easy to get to. Is it East Croydon? You get off the train?
Yeah, or West Croydon.
Or West Croydon.
Yeah, and at the back here of our classes, which is 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay, and then so who comes here to do the classes?
Anybody who wants to know and have the information. Anybody who wants to know and have the information.
Brilliant. Yeah. And mine's too loud, I think. Mine's too loud because I'm putting people to sleep. Was it good? Okay, thank you.
Well, I need to raise mine up, yeah?
Yeah. So do people, when you're doing the classes, my point is,
Yeah.
when the class is taking place, you might be on Zoom, but there will be people here at Nishat.
Yes.
Right.
That's right.
Okay.
So we're trying to capture all audiences.
Yes,
Yeah,
of course.
'cause we feel
Well,
like
we're in a
it's
digital
important.
world, aren't we?
Exactly.
No point in going against it. You got to work.
Yeah.
You got to make it work for you, right?
That's right. Got to make it work.
You got to make it work for you. I really do believe that, you know.
Yeah.
I don't believe in sod their system.
No.
It's the only system
No,
we've got.
You got to use a system for your benefit.
Yeah,
for
thank
your
you.
benefit. That's
Thank
what-
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sounds better.
Yeah, so there's no point in having a chip on your shoulder
That's right.
about it and
Yeah.
thinking that is not for you. It's
Whi-
for everybody.
Exactly, which leads into what you were saying. When we got to stop, like you said, blaming the oppressor or, you know, the other race or whatever. It's about a do for self thing. Do you know what I mean? So we are trying to mobilize people to do for self. And in doing for self, you become liberated. So it's liberation by having your own shops that you buy from, you know, your own food that you sell, your own creams, etc. So we're supposed to have shops and everything that we
Yeah, we're
support
supposed to have
each
a
other.
chain of boots.
Exactly.
The equivalent to.
Exactly.
We're supposed to have a chain of Sainsbury's,
That's right,
Marks and
that's right,
Spencer's
exactly.
that deal with
Empower
us for
ourselves.
our
Yep.
nutrition
Yep.
and for our skin
Exactly.
and for what is good for us.
Yep.
Because at the moment, man like L'Oreal and Garnier, they're rinsing us.
Exactly. And we have the products.
Exactly.
We've got the product. We've got shea. L'Oreal's getting shea butter from where?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And coconuts
Exactly.
from where?
From where?
yeah, there ain't no coconuts down at Hyde Park.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's so true, you know. It's a thing, isn't it? Because we have the resources.
We've got the resources.
What is it we're lacking?
Unity.
Yeah, I believe that.
We're
I've been saying it
we're lacking
for
unity
years.
because we've got that, like I mentioned, and we do have infighting, in genetic infighting that's going on. But once we are able to surpass that, then it becomes an ego thing.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who wants to control who wants to be better than who, etc.
Which is what they do.
That's what they do. So
That's
we've
what they're
learned-
doing
we've learned-
now.
We've learned a lot from them.
Yeah,
You know
much
what I'm
too
saying?
much.
Too much, yeah. And it's an influence on our own productivity.
Yeah, because it doesn't work for us.
It doesn't work for us.
Because it's not for us.
It's not for us. Like they said, FUBU.
Yeah.
For us, by us.
Yeah.
That's what works for us.
Yeah,
Do you know
exactly.
what
I
mean?
hear that.
You know?
So, with regard to where you think it goes wrong is with regards to the DNA, what we've been exposed to,
That's right.
what we've got inside of us. But where are we going to start taking responsibility? What do you think? I know you said unity.
Yeah.
How are we going to get it?
Okay, so responsibility comes like this. If you have been exposed to information that you know is for your betterment, you're supposed to then apply that information or knowledge or skill, whatever, just what I'm saying, to your life.
Know better, do better.
Yes. And then let that resonate in your community, you see? And part of that is because we have things that we have so many things that goes against us in the form of jealousy, all that kind of stuff. You know, one person doesn't want another person to succeed. But
How
once you
did we get there, though? And
That's-
how are we going to get out of that?
It's the hate that hate made, literally. It's like when something's in your genes, it takes a long time to come out. But the starting point is, first of all, knowledge is a liberator. So once you have the knowledge, some of us do, we have to now teach others.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
say, for
To be
instance,
powerful though, don't you?
exactly. So say you were, like what you do now.
Yes.
If you were to get 10 people doing that,
Yeah.
what you do.
Yeah.
What I'm doing now, if I get 10 people doing what I do,
Yeah, it's
it
a compound
multiplies.
effect.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
We speak about that quite a lot
Yeah.
because that seems to work, doesn't it?
It works a lot.
So this is what I'm seeing. So I've got a 12-year-old and I've got cousins. They're my fourth cousins. So they're already 4 generations down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are younger than 12. Now they're like little English girls. So all I can see
Yeah.
is
I
that
see.
the youngers
Yeah.
are just getting more and more
Influence.
Yeah.
By
and
the
taking
Western-
it in
Yeah.
to the point where
Yeah.
we didn't dream of doing that. My cousin before, their mum hadn't dreamed of doing that, but they are in it.
Yeah.
How are they going to get any help?
Oh gosh.
How are we going to reach?
It is a monumental task. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not a one-stop shop kind of thing where it takes a whole bunch of different things. But one of the things that the master teacher has expressed to us is get your children to hobbies.
Yeah, they're all into, these, but what happens when you go to hobbies and when you go to after school activities and after school classes, they're all there.
They're all there. I know.
You can't get away from them because they want their children to also have hobbies.
Yeah, it is a constant. I'm not gonna lie because we've both got children, so it's a constant battle, and the re-education of the mind has to come. Like for instance, when my daughter comes home, like for instance, we got Christmas and all these things that come up. So what we do is we've taught our children that, okay, you know, Christmas is there, but guess what we call it through our teachings? We call it Children's Day. So they don't feel left out, but we do something called Children's Day and apply their culture to it. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So one of the things that we do is, because we are re-establishing our culture teaches that we do certain things differently.
Yes.
You see, so we'll call on our ancestors as opposed to saying Santa Claus. We'll say someone like, do you know what I mean, an ancient ancestor.
Good. I need to. This is very, very useful. Yeah. But I'm not sure I can convince my 12-year-old about all that.
Yeah,
it's be
that's
real
what I said. It's a monumental
difficult
task, especially because once a child reaches the age of imagination, which is age of 7.
Yes.
It then starts to spiral.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have to catch them.
Yeah, because they say, show me a man when he's
age of 7. So show me the child at the age of 7 and I'll show you the man.
There you go.
But
do you know why I say that? Because I'm not putting a dampener on it. I'm not trying to be negative. But it's bigger than us. There's only 2 of you. What do you think you can do against that whole platform of social media?
Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
It is challenging.
Challenging, yeah.
I am nothing compared to social media. And I am power with a whole house behind me. And social media wipes me out of the thing. Yeah. They don't have a phone. Yeah. They don't have a phone, but they have all accounts.
Things,
They have all the accounts. They got Snapchat. They call it chat shit. They've got that. They've got this. They've got that. They've got this. She's not even old enough to have stuff. She's got it.
Yeah.
Because if she doesn't have it, she will feel less.
Yeah, that's right.
Because that's what's out there. So as soon as you send your child to school, basically, I remember sending my 19-year-old to school for the first day. He was 3. Yeah. And I knew that I was losing a part of him. Yeah. He was in nursery and I knew when he came back to me that day, he was already minus. Yeah, he was already minus who I'd sent him out there that morning on that first day. So what I used to do in the holidays, because obviously they have holidays every 6 weeks, in the holidays I would recondition my children and I would tell them that's what we're doing as well. Yeah. They've had you for 6 weeks in my time now.
Listen, the times when they're on holiday, I'll put on like things on ancient Africa to do with what we do.
Honestly,
just to recondition that mindset. Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah. Yeah. So there's one summer holiday, and my daughter says she'll never forget. I made them watch 12 days of Slave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I made them watch Colour Purple. I put it on them. Deep. Yeah, I did. because these are the times. What else you not gonna watch? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You want to watch Snow White? You know what I mean? And Cinderella. You know what I mean? That's what they want to do. Yep. This is not for you. Yep. So when I see them watching the television, and it's nothing to do with anything. I watch. Why are you watching this? Why does this interest you?
Yes, exactly what. Yeah.
I want to actually find out. Yeah. But what it is, I think they're just very good at working with difference. Yeah. In order to be current. Because it's of no relevance to them. Yeah, it's not. Because how these girls are doing their hair, what they put on their skin, the clothes, this not you. The food they're eating got nothing to do with you lot.
I can see what your reasoning is.
Yeah, to be current.
Current affairs and what's going on.
Yeah, because otherwise you'll just be in the dark. When you go to school, you'll just look like an idiot.
Yeah. And then
if you don't know that, you know, European people wash their hair every day. You can't be shocked at that news.
Yeah.
That's not normal to us.
That's right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Every day.
Yeah.
And then they have knits.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why. My granny to say, don't worry, knits won't go in your hair. It's too dirty. Yeah, because knits don't like hair that is not greasy.
Yeah. You know, it's funny you said
knits
that
only like clean hair.
Exactly.
Go on.
So no, I was gonna say about my youngest daughter because she's the one that has the mouth, not in a bad way. Whatever she's told, she'll repeat. Do you know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah. you know where I'm going with this.
Yes.
So she said a few things which I've had to like put into context for the grown-ups. But one thing that we've always done is always try to reassert that in them. So mum will, teach them certain things. I will teach them certain things about, their language, their origin. Do you get what I'm saying? And that it's okay that who you are. And this is how they are. They practice their thing, and you practice your thing.
Yeah.
And what you practice works for you.
Yes.
And what they practice works for them.
them.
And that's it.
Yeah.
There's no more. There's no other division. There's
No.
no blending.
It's just different.
We're just different.
And that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Working with difference is what I've realised a lot of us love to do. And that could be curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? That could be, it could be as simple as that.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting for me because I like to know everything. So what's the point of going, I don't like that? You don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
You don't even know what you're talking about. You don't like it. You got to check it
out.
out. Exactly. So what's the next move for you as a movement? And is he coming out? What's happening?
The main focus and our target is to get the master teacher released.
How are you going to do that? Like, you're going to go get him one of those movies? You can watch a movie?
No, we're not gonna
Escape?
Yeah. No, we've got lawyers working on his behalf, working on there's a firm of lawyers who deals specifically in convicted criminals or those who will be convicted and to exonerate them of all the so-called crimes that they've committed.
Is he been put in jail like Nelson Mandela was?
Yes.
Why do they keep doing that though?
Because that's how they try to get our leaders. They either character assassinate them or it's sexual.
Yeah.
It's always the two.
Yeah, one of the two, yeah.
They've always done those with us. And it's like we keep falling for the same thing all
What?
the time. However, there's a whole history, there's a whole build on it, and maybe in another, if we ever have a meeting and you invite me back on,
100%.
Essentially, we had a connection to being that he was in America and linking everything back from Africa. When the land masses was together, Africa and the United States were actually one landmass at one point. And then there was basically people of African that walked across and created your different empires, like your Mayans, your Aztecs, your Olmecs, and all of these. These are actually African empires that went over to America, walked over to America. Walked, because the land masses were together.
Of course. And is that why you always have pictures of African people walking?
That's right.
That's where they're going.
We walked. You see the word Atlantis?
Yes.
Okay. It's an actual ancient word that the Greeks took. And if you know about Greeks, they add everything is to their words.
Everything.
So Atlantis was actually the original word was Atlan.
Okay.
And the word Atlan meant the upper and lower of South and North America.
Okay.
And the word Utla is the root word of the word Atlan.
Okay.
So Utla means vacation.
Okay.
So they walked as a migration and a vacation to these land masses.
Okay.
Then they stayed there because obviously, generations.
It's a long walk back.
Yeah, it's a long walk back, yeah. Generations settled and moved moved to North America.
Yes.
And resided there. Then when the land masses split, I'm talking thousands of years ago, the land masses split. At that period of time, you had, let's just say, advanced beings that came to them. Advanced beings came to them.
Yeah, they talk about advanced beings in the Holy Book.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
But they call them angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. Your God is an advanced being, basically.
Yeah,
the God
yeah,
of the
yeah.
Bible is an
Yeah,
advanced being.
yeah.
So these advanced beings or angelic beings,
Yes.
they came to certain tribes, and then from that birthed your different Yamasi.
I'm going to talk about that.
Yeah.
birthing.
So that's so all these different the Olmecs, because the word Olmec means people of the rubber tree.
Right.
And the rubber tree can be found in Senegal.
Oh, yeah.
So
okay.
what they did was they took the seeds with them, because it's not native to America.
Right.
And they planted the seeds, the rubber
Right.
tree seeds. So that's where the name Olmec means.
Okay.
So these people, you can find in a book called They Were Here Before Columbus by
Right.
Ivan Van Sertima.
But they made a tune, didn't they? Christopher Columbus was a damn blast.
Exactly.
Didn't they?
Exactly.
They just did it straight.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So they knew from their studies that he was lying.
Yeah.
So so the landmasses were together. The reason why then the master teacher, what he did was he said that because we know our origin, we are moving closer to our ancestors, and one of the places was called a place called Eatonton, Georgia.
Okay.
Georgia's actually named after King George,
Okay.
because remember they were trying to set up a new empire
Right.
in America.
Oh.
So when you hear about New York,
Yes.
it's actually York. You hear about other Pennsylvania, it's
Yeah.
actually a place in this country. So they were naming all their provinces in the UK
Yes.
into new names like New York and Georgia, places like that. Yeah.
Oh, I
So
see what you mean.
Yeah. So the 13 colonies that was set up was actually a replica of UK.
Yes, they
United
got
Kingdom.
New England.
Exactly.
They got Jersey. They got
Exactly.
all sorts of
There you
things
go.
that
That's right.
that match up
Yep.
out there.
Yeah.
Now, another thing I was going to ask you. You spoke about the birth and the angels.
Okay.
Do we come from sex?
We are a product of what originally or
Yeah.
Original-
Yeah, like because
okay.
I want to know. This
Okay.
is what I can't
yeah.
imagine.
What do you want to know? Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. Angelic beings having sex.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
I just can't imagine
okay.
it.
We're gonna go deep now.
Come, let's do it.
Right. I'm gonna keep it short. We're gonna go deep.
Yeah.
Beings came from other worlds. Okay.
Right.
Not in this form.
Okay.
Right. Some of them were in humanoid form, but they materialized or incarnated into human form.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not from sex.
Wait. Let me finish.
Right.
When you incarnate into a realm,
Yes.
okay, you take on the energies and the composition of the realm you incarnate
Of course.
into.
Right. Yeah. I
So
get that. We spoke about that before.
they took the composition of the human beings that were on the planet, so hence they had the 46 chromosomes.
Right.
That 46 chromosomes and the blood types, etc.,
Yes.
was brought down when they incarnated.
Right.
Yeah,
They
and
brought it with
they took
them.
a body with them. They took on a flesh body.
Okay, so they put themselves inside of something.
That's right. Or they materialized
Like what they do on the films.
like they do in the films. Yeah, so they materialized into human form,
Get it?
and then they
Had
then
sex.
had sex. So when you talk about, for
Dirty
instance,
bastards.
let me give you an example. Angel Gabriel,
Yeah.
came to Mary, right?
Yeah.
And he gave her a present, didn't he?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, they say he gave her a package.
Drop one on her.
It was sex.
Yeah. Woo!
So it was a genetic experiment that took place
Right.
with the because the word Gabriel means messenger.
Right. Yes, it does.
So he
yes,
brought a
that's
message.
right. Yeah.
He
Yeah. Message. Here, hold that.
Yeah. So back to these beings who are advanced beings.
Yes.
They came to this planet, took on physical bodies.
Yes.
And then had sex with the children of men, according to the Bible
Yes.
story.
Yeah.
So these men, then some of them became what they call mighty men of old, men of renown.
Right.
So basically, they were intelligent.
Yes.
And some of them became very beast-like.
About to say, what about the giants?
These, when they say giants, the
Yes.
word there is Giborim.
Right.
Giborim, the word means tyrant. It doesn't mean giant.
Okay. Tyrant is
Tyrant.
somebody
Someone
that
who's very
is
aggressive.
very angry.
Exactly. These were your tyrants. The word there was Gibor. That's where you get the word Gabriel from. The
Right.
root word is there, Gib, Gbr, Gibor. Yeah, and then when you have the Gabri, and then you have the El. And El means of the source or the powerful one.
Right.
So is the tyrant of the powerful one.
Right,
That's
tyrant of the wow, because that's a lot of power in there.
Yeah. So these tyrants, some of them were in, how can I say, like I said, because they're from as
it is
Orion.
Right. That used to be a car.
Pleiades. Yeah, it was actually. It wasn't a car. It was a car. Actually.
Sorry.
Pleiades.
Yeah.
Arcturus.
Yeah.
And it says the chambers of the south and Mazzaroth. So it actually mentions.
How do you remember all this stuff?
I'm teaching it every single.
Wow. Carry on.
So Job 9:9, this can be found in, or Amos 5:8.
Job
9:9.
Yeah. Okay.
So they mention these star constellations.
They do.
So these extraterrestrials came from these various star constellations as advanced beings with more advanced technology than we can even think of now.
Of course, yeah.
And then they incarnated in the flesh.
Yes.
And then they copulated with these sons of Enos,
right.
or the Enoshites, or sons of Adam, had sex.
Yes.
Some of them chose them as wives,
right.
and some of them raped them.
Okay.
So there was a rape, and then ones that actually took them as wives, and
and then there were ones that didn't want to have sex.
So from the birth of that birthed your tyrants.
Okay.
And
these are they the guys that are terrible?
Yes, they're the ones that
that live now. I mean,
yes, that's the ones
the
that
terrible
live now.
ones.
The terrible ones.
Wow.
These are your generations. See, people think the flood that happened wiped out the whole planet.
Nah.
No, it's only a portion of the planet.
Okay.
So we're going to give you that story of Noah, then God told him that he should take 2 by 2 of everything.
Yeah.
That's all made up.
Obviously.
I mean, because you can't.
I never believed that story.
A lion and chickens and.
Yeah. That would never happen.
Let's keep it real in it.
Yeah, exactly. It's so true.
Come on, man.
So true.
Yeah.
So sex did exist, but not at first.
Not at first.
People were made because they weren't people. They weren't people. They were beings.
There were beings that came
angelic beings.
Yeah, what we call in the biblical reference as angelic beings.
And then the Gabriels, the messengers, went down with the message.
That's right.
That they were tyrants.
They gave birth
to tyrants. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's still happening now.
That's still happening now.
Birth to tyrants all the time. They're tyrants on the road, boy.
Yeah.
It's such a shame, isn't it? It is. Because why can't we just why couldn't that be nice?
Because this planet is not what you think it is.
So the tyrants needed to be there in order to survive. Otherwise they wouldn't have made it and we wouldn't be here.
Yeah. Well, no. This is talking about a specific race.
Okay. Is it our race?
No. The Adamites.
Okay.
So the Adamites.
Oh, the Adamites. They're white people.
The Caucasian race.
Yeah. Okay.
So Africans were already here. We see what the Bible has done or religion has done is amalgamated every race.
They really have, haven't they?
Yeah, into one being.
Made us all believe.
No.
And this is what you're trying to do.
I'm trying to do it.
Wow, you got a task ahead, mate.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, because people will fight you.
Kill you.
Yeah.
You will end up in jail forever.
Well, that's why a master teacher
is
in jail.
Trying to say? Yeah. That's why people have been assassinated.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's right.
That's why.
Yep, that's right. Because of teaching facts and truth.
Oh my gosh, what's going to happen to you then?
Me, we'll be over here. And if my life is taken,
you'll be happy about that because you got to go somehow, haven't you?
We got to go.
It's so true. Have you got life insurance?
I don't think my missus is gonna like me saying that.
Have you got life insurance?
I have life insurance.
What do you mean your missus ain't gonna like it? What does your missus think she's gonna stay alive forever as well? None of us are. We're all going.
She gets concerned.
Does she get concerned? Oh, does she really get concerned?
Yeah.
I mean, for actually for what you do.
Yeah. No, not for what I do, but. Obviously, the fact
that you are going to die.
Yeah, I'm on the front
line. Oh, come on, gal. Get over yourself. If he goes, it will be for good reason. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, she's just a warrior.
Because
she loves me, innit? So.
Warrior or warrior?
Well, the thing is, right?
Warrior or
warrior. Warrior, not warriors in... Ooh,
Oh, she's a warrior.
She's a warrior. And
yes.
She's a warrior, but I think she doesn't realize that about herself. But I see it in her.
Okay.
I see it in her. When she's ready,
I don't know a black woman that's not a warrior.
Exactly.
Because we've had to be.
Yeah.
How do you think about getting out of bed if you're not a warrior?
She's a protector, and I see in her protecting the children
so
all
bad.
the time.
I'm not. I don't only protect children. I protect the adults that I love as well.
Well, do you know, there's symbolic.
I'm like a lioness.
I was gonna say there's symbolic representations in our culture, in our ancient African culture for that.
No, I am definitely repping.
If you look at the replica of a protectress in ancient Egypt, she was known as Bastet.
Right.
Or Bast.
Right.
So Bast was a feline, like a lioness.
Right.
And she protected the children and also Ray, like the sun god. They call it the sun god, but basically our ancestors, our family.
Yes.
Then you also had another one called the vulture deity. And the vulture...
She sounds dangerous, boy.
Yeah, Nekhebet. The vulture, naturally, when it's chilled, that's why you see the wings. It will literally
like
protect,
a 5 or 6 foot span.
Yeah, it will protect its children and cover up. So
yes.
we had that symbol, and then we also had another symbol of the hippopotamus. If you go and research the hippopotamus and its protective instincts, it will protect its children. Do you get what I'm saying? So these are replicas. And then it was used to represent the female because the female is a protector, natural protector.
Yeah, I can't help it.
Yeah. So that's in our culture.
Yeah.
Things
definitely.
that we've lost, you know what I mean?
Lost along the way.
So
and I won't let anybody let me lose mine. I practice it every day.
Good.
My children always going on, you're always going on. Yes, that's right. Of course I'm always going on. Who's going to stop me?
That's good, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What? I said, when I'm dead and gone, you're going to wish to hear me.
That's right.
It's a serious thing, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, should we play another tune?
Go ahead, man.
Yeah? What you request?
Jill Scott Heron, the revolution will not be televised.
Right. Jill Scott Heron. Gil Scott Heron. Gil Scott Heron.
It's quite a long track, but the message is there.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we want to. We always on this show. This is what we do. We create real awareness. Yeah, so it's you got a choice. You can switch off and go listen to someone else, but don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Gil Scott Heron. Gil Scott. Talk. You can.
Yeah. So for those who are listening, appreciate your time. You know, definitely tune in. This sister's got some serious vibes and some energy. You know, and I think we're vibing quite well, aren't we?
No,
you know what I
really
mean?
good.
So,
I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say exactly what is it called?
Gil Scott, the revolution would not be televised.
The revolution.
Yeah. Should come up, yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. Because what it is the reason why he put that out is because you're not going to see revolution on TV, etc. It's in the mind. The shift in paradigm is you making that conscious decision to say to yourself, you know what, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna make a change. I'm gonna help my community. That's the revolution, you know. So that's what he's talking about and rapping over on this one, you know.
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nubs. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run, or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32 on report from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still lights of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he has been saving for just the proper occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so damn relevant, and women will not care if Dick finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow, because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news and no pictures of Harry armed women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Keys, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people. You will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, the tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with Coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.
Yeah. We're back. Yeah, it's wow. Where do I even start? I mean, the brother here, who, we're just talking before the music get off, and you do have a time, okay, of awakening that's taking place with some people, and you do have a time when you come onto this plane to do and fulfill a certain kind of job or criteria. You do have an actual task to perfect yourself.
I don't know if, I'm not saying I agree. I believe that has always been the case.
That's always been the case.
With every single
individual.
But what about every single thing that happens and every single animal and every single incident and every single scenario?
Let me break it up.
Yeah.
You have different planes of existence, right?
Right.
So this is the physical plane.
Right.
So beings that reside on the physical plane, not every single being, dog, cat, rat, whatever, human beings, has a soul.
Ah. Boom.
Yeah, not every being has a soul.
So listen to what I think. So they say that people that are psychopathic killers, rapists, they say that they don't have a conscience. Mm-hmm. But I say they have a conscience, but it's just bad. Why does your conscience have to be good? Does it?
Not necessarily, it's just conscious.
Thank you.
Your consciousness. And then there's two, like you said, there's being conscious just means being aware.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Or even being.
But then there's a heightened state of consciousness that allows you to differentiate between what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. That's conscientious.
Yeah, but listen to this. When they use the word conscious, it's always to do with kindness and good.
That's right.
And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Why? What's that about?
Because
that can't be the case.
That links into your soul. That's the soul portion of your consciousness.
So people that they say that don't have a conscience, what they really mean is they don't have a soul.
Yes.
And that's what you're saying.
That's right.
Not everybody has a soul.
That's right.
And I think that is a brilliant understanding of why some people can be so wicked.
Mm-hmm. They say soulless beings.
Right.
You can have a spirit because your spirit animates you. It's your spirit that creates the electricity in your body.
And it doesn't always have to be good either.
It doesn't have to be good either. Because like I said to you,
it depends on what DNA is made up of and where it's coming from and what blah blah. A lot of variables.
Exactly. So these variables is why we're here.
Right. Do you believe that, like, so you've got the Rogerian theory, you've got a Freudian theory.
That's my missus. That's her studies there, man.
Oh, right, okay. So we're going to, right, well, I'm going to get into it with you because I know a little bit about it as well. Surprise, surprise. Do you feel that a human being that is given the right circumstances under the right conditions will always flourish to be the right person?
You're talking about the nurture nature thing then, aren't you? In a
Well,
sense.
I just want to know what you think.
What I think is that I strongly advocate that. I truly do advocate that because you're nurturing something, and when you start to study the epigenetic side of things, you know that genes can be expressed.
Yes.
Yeah. So genes
And manipulated.
So depending on the
Got
environment,
another question for you.
you know, it may not be as detrimental or too what's the word? Like for instance, some children can become very, very aggressive or very sadistic. You with me?
Yes, yes.
Then
They reckon that's because of the upbringing.
exactly, but the upbringing is because it's triggering something
Innately,
them,
it's already
in them.
it's
Exactly.
in them, and
You
it's
have-
just bringing it out.
Exactly. You have dormant genes. Not
Yes.
all your genes are switched on.
Yeah,
Some
I
genes
agree.
can be expressed by sound, music, tones, vibration, environment, foods, additives.
All the variables.
All the variables.
Right. So,
Yeah.
based on all of that now, so this is what I want to know. This is
Yeah.
a serious question.
Yeah.
I was going to ask it on the James O'Brien questions and answers show.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you.
Yeah. Go
Do
ahead.
you feel,
right.
where does genetics start from?
Where-
So I've got really bad eyesight.
Okay.
Nobody in my family has got anywhere near as bad eyesight as me.
Okay.
So I feel that that's where it starts with me. Will I pass that down to my children?
You pass everything down to your children.
Where did my bad eyes? Nobody.
Okay.
I'm partially blind.
So what happens is this, yeah. Obviously, you're as individual different to me,
Yes.
but we have what they call myopia and all of these other
Something wrong with your eyes.
Yeah. So it's all genetics because your genes are alive and thinking entities. They're not just dormant there. They're actually, as we're in this room now, your DNA is recording everything.
I get you.
Yeah. So what's happened is
Like you
that
see in the films.
So sometimes your individual DNA has skipped a generation. So what's happening is when you have two chromosomes, when mother and father come together, parents
Yes.
come together, they share chromosomes.
Of course.
And that chromosome becomes a zygote. They call it a zygote. Yeah.
Right.
So that now you've got genes from both parents.
Yes.
Sometimes some genes will skip a generation or
Yes.
be dormant in that child.
So that is a real thing, skipping a generation.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
It's real. So whatever took place in your journey activated and expressed that gene.
So it will never start with me.
No.
It's always been backed out.
it's
But
always
where
been
does
backed
it start?
So
That's a no.
where
come
does
on.
it start?
Yeah.
It starts with
And then when does it run out? It doesn't.
because you're part of this planet. You grew with this planet
Yeah.
as our ancestors.
Yeah.
So originally, the eyesight problems and certain problems or ailments that we had, we
Yeah.
didn't have back then.
No.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as genes,
Is it like when trees disperse their leaves and they just land up somewhere
yep,
and they just all of a sudden you just
Yeah.
see some bush growing somewhere
That's
because
right.
the seeds dispersed.
yep, and also the soil. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In that environment is slightly different to the soil that the original
Of
tree
course,
came from.
yeah, I get it.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I get it.
Yeah. So that's yeah.
Steve from Japan is watching.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Greetings, Steve from
Yes.
Japan.
It's so deep with regards to the genetic side of things
It is,
because of what you're saying, skip
Yeah.
to generation,
Yeah.
then you've got all the variables,
right.
and you think that the Carl Rogers, who reckons, he's a psychologist, and he reckons that given the right environment, a child will become and flourish to be a happy, decent, well-balanced human being.
Yeah.
Under the right,
It's
under the right
conditions.
conditions.
Yeah. And then it's like they did an experiment actually. We watched it, myself and my missus. There was, I think, 3 boys.
Yes.
3 boys. I think they were triplets.
Yeah, I've seen
that one.
Yeah,
innit?
yeah.
And they found out that they were all related, and there was actually an experiment that they were doing.
Yeah.
It can happen. It does happen because you're dealing with literally genes. They're not stagnant. Genes are constantly expressing themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything that happens, it expresses, it opens, it closes it's like a light switch.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm saying? It switches off, it switches on, it switches
Yeah,
on, it switches
okay.
off. So depending how long you've been exposed to that, it will permanently get denatured. You see what I'm saying? Like for instance, sugar denatures your DNA.
Okay.
Like white sugar. It actually it denatures your DNA.
And Jamie agrees. Nice one, Jamie. Good for you, because you're sensible peoples. Sensible peoples.
Yeah.
So the end. When we pass, do you say that it was supposed to happen? Because what's brought me to that is because you said we've all been put here for a reason.
That's right. Yeah.
When your reason and your thing is finished, are you taken away?
Depending.
Right.
On if you learn what you're supposed to learn.
Yeah.
Because this cycle, this earth that we're living on is a school.
Yes.
Yeah. If you go to school and you don't pass your exams, what happens?
You have
to go back and retake it.
Yeah.
Likewise.
So what, you're just here to suffer if you don't, so they reckon.
Not necessarily suffer.
Okay. Oh, but it is sufferation.
Yeah, it's sufferation, yeah. To some people. Yeah.
To some people.
Yeah.
But they reckon that until you learn your mistake, you're doomed.
That's right. You will. What the master teacher teaches is that you have 24 to 24,000 times. It's all linked into the cycle of this planet.
Wow.
To perfect your being. If you don't do it on your last cycle, you will dissipate and break back up into the various elements that you made up of.
Okay.
That's what happens.
So when they say man was made of dust, is that what you're...
No,
right?
I'm talking about your spiritual essence.
Okay.
Because your physical essence will go back to this earth.
Yeah,
and it will
to the dust.
Decompose, back into the elements.
Of course. Oh, yes, of course. So no matter where, whether you get burned, buried, whatever, it goes back in. Yeah.
But the essence of you, which is your spirit and your soul, if
lives
you have
on.
a soul.
Yeah. If you have a soul, oh my God. Poor thing.
Your spirit can be trapped here, and it can be trapped here because of desire, love, family who are attached to you, and they don't want to let you go.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh my days.
Yeah.
That is why my poor dad, he can't go nowhere. He is entangled in all of us because we still need him.
Yeah, it's the spiritual link that you have.
It is it is so strong.
Yeah. And you see, he can still travel and still be near you.
He is inside of me.
Yeah.
He won't leave me alone to the point. Trust me.
That means you got a good strong link there.
Because we were so tight. And the last name he said before he died was mine.
Okay.
So it's a thing.
Yeah.
And also, I told him, come and check me and tell me wagwan when you're gone.
Yeah.
But what he's trying to show me is I ain't gone nowhere.
Yeah.
There's nothing to tell.
There's all it is a mere form of different vibration. That's all it is. It's just vibration and energy on a different plane.
Wow.
And every time you call their name, they're drawn to you.
Wow.
This is the signs that they knew we had.
Yes.
So every time we needed to, say like you were lost in the forest and you called on one of your ancestors, they'll guide you out of the forest.
Yes.
If you needed a herb, they'll guide you to that herb.
Yes.
All of these things is why they said start calling on God.
Yes.
Because you cut yourself off.
Absolutely. Listen, the show's done, you know.
Yeah.
And listen, it's been such a pleasure. When are you going to come back on?
I'll be on next week.
Hey, listen, hear what the man says. He'll be on next week if I'll have him. There might be a queue.
Yeah.
However, when
just-
that
yeah,
queue
just
has
held
run
me up.
itself,
Just held me
I
up, yeah.
will be hailing you up. Listen, I want to big up Big Dread Guy Gadget, because if it weren't for you, mate,
Yeah.
this wouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
And that's the vibes, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's right.
Because he told me straight, you need
Yeah.
this guy, he's coming on your show, this
Yeah.
and that, blah, blah, blah. I told him about you. I was thinking, what, little me?
Yeah, man.
Little old me.
Yeah.
Get in there. Thank you, people. Thank
Yeah.
you for listening. See you next week. Don't forget to stay tuned in. And don't
Love and
forget,
life, man. Love and
hey,
life. Take
respect.
care.
Bye-bye.